Yeah, moving to
Hopefully.
the AFC playoff overview. The Ravens and the Bills play, I believe it's Saturday night in Buffalo at like 8 late. It's a night game and it's supposed to be the temperature is supposed to be 32 degrees with 11-mile-per-hour
Below
winds and a
0?
few snow showers.
Kelvin?
What's that?
What?
Would you say, Jake?
No, I said below 0?
No, 32 degrees.
Oh, okay.
But so the Bills, they scored 501 points on the season, and the Ravens scored 468. But the Ravens had a better defense. They had 303 points allowed, and the Bills had 375. And I think that's kind of like the story of the teams. They're just kind of a weird matchup. Like the Bills passing offense is number 3 in the NFL, and the Ravens were the dead last, number 32. But then rushing wise, the Ravens were like unequivocally number 1, like by a huge margin. And then Buffalo Bills are like below average. And we just lost our second string running back, Zach Moss, with an ankle injury. And then with the defense, the Ravens ranked number 2 overall, and the Bills were just middle of the pack. But I think the Bills are a lot higher than they're showing because, like, from week 8 on, our defense like drastically improved. But I just the matchup is gonna be weird because it's gonna be we have no run game, and they obviously just shut down a 2,000-yard rusher for 40 yards. So we're going to have to pass the ball. It's going to be 32 degrees with 11-mile-per-hour winds. And they have 3 sick corners. Like they got Marcus Peters, who's absolute ball hawk, Marlon Humphrey, who's definitely like a top 5 corner, top 10 maybe. And then
I'd say top 6 for sure.
Jimmy Smith is an absolute stud, especially at covering like big receivers. Like if he jams presses you up, he's like 6'2", 210 or something like that. And he's super good. So I don't know, like how do you feel like Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley, John Brown match up against all those corners? Because I feel like the Bills do have the weapons to be able to take on their corners, and if they blitz, they could probably beat them in man coverage. Like Josh Allen's been pretty good against man.
Yeah.
So
They're all really hot right now, too. But I mean, both teams are.
Yeah.
I don't even think Diggs is really necessarily the X factor of the team. Like Diggs, I do think is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL now, if not the best.
Yeah.
Um, but Marlon Humphrey on him, I do think like as a matchup, that could be considered a wash, kind of. Like I think Marlon Humphrey's going to win a few. Stephon Diggs is going to win a few.
Yeah.
I think the issue here is going to be who's going to shut down Cole Beasley, because when you're the Bills always seem like anytime I look at the screen, it's like 3rd and 10. Josh Allen is scrambling around somewhere, and at the last second, Cole Beasley is just wide open out of nowhere because everybody forgot about Cole Beasley, and they just pop it to him, and then they're like, "Oh, sick! 1st and 10, boom, 62 yards to Stephon Diggs." So I think if you can shut down Cole Beasley, you can beat the Bills.
Oh man.
But obviously, that's a tall task.
I was also thinking the same thing. Like the interesting thing about Cole Beasley, like you can't put Jimmy Smith on him because Jimmy Smith is not quick at all. Like
Yeah.
you'll absolutely make him look like a fool. Marcus Peters is quick, but he's like such a ball hawk, and Cole Beasley runs so many double moves. I think
Mm-hmm.
he'll definitely shake him up a couple times. Like if we ran like a just a stop and go and you pump fake it, I think Peters jumps it and you'd be wide open.
I think Marcus Peters' big thing is he kind of thrives on like quarterback mistakes,
Yeah.
and Josh Allen isn't really making a lot of those right now.
Yeah, he definitely lives and dies by like his aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Marcus Peters.
But I do think it's going to be interesting to see how quickly Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakwe, and Matt Judon can get to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Because I think if you can get him like before he escapes, I think it would be like a relatively easy game for the Ravens. But Josh Allen's good at escaping.
So we did pretty good against DeForest Buckner. Like he stopped a couple of our runs, our key runs. So I feel like Calais Campbell, it'll be kind of a similar matchup. Like they're both 6'8", they're both huge, like in athletic. So I am worried about him still, but I feel like we do good against big interior guys like that. I am
See,
worried about Matt Judon because I watched our game matchup last year, and Matt Judon had like he was getting constant pressure.
yeah,
He had a strip sack, I think. He had
because
sacks.
I was gonna say like with the Colts, yeah, you have Buckner and you have Leonard at linebacker, but I feel like Leonard like is mostly covering guys.
Yeah,
Like Leonard isn't really going after the quarterback that much. Like Judon and Ngakwe, you never see those guys in coverage. Like they're just pass rush specialists.
yeah.
So we'll see. But I do think, and I mean, you can say it with every football team. Like the key is to get the quarterback, but in this scenario specifically, like if you keep Josh Allen in the pocket and you can put him on the ground a few times, I think the Ravens have a good shot.
Now, another thing is the Ravens are the number one blitzing team in the NFL. They blitz like the highest percentage of snaps, and Josh Allen leads the NFL with 19 touchdown passes versus blitz this season. So it's like when teams blitz him, like we have so many wide receivers, like John Brown and Gabe Davis are like third and fourth. So like one of those guys, no matter how good your corners are, one of those guys will probably be open. Cole Beasley will be open and he'll dump it off real quick. And Josh Allen's athletic enough to dodge blitzers. But it seems like when teams like the Colts sat back in coverage, didn't blitz anybody, and they put their safeties really deep, and they had Darius Leonard, who's like so fast he can track down Josh Allen if he escapes. That seems to give him more fits than like blitzing. But I feel like we'll be able to score points on the Ravens. I'm just mostly worried about stopping their run game because they're number one in rushing. Their line is big and nasty. They got fucking Orlando Brown Jr. And it's like the Bills' defensive line is so small. I don't know why they didn't inquire. Like I've been talking about it since the preseason. Like we needed to acquire like Damon Harrison or someone who weighs over 320 pounds. Like Ed Oliver's like 290. Both Jerry Hughes is 250 pounds defensive end. Our
And
other
Ed Oliver's only like 6'1", isn't he?
Yeah. So all our D linemen are like three of our starting D linemen are under 300 pounds. One of them's 250 ish. And
Espiness is pretty big, isn't he? Isn't he
he's
6'5"?
he's like 6'4", but I think he's like 270, 280. Like he's not 300 pounds. Like these Ravens hosses are 300 pounds. They're well over 300 pounds.
So you
And
need
that
to get
mass,
400 houses.
if it comes into a like war of attrition, the Bills are going to have a hard time. But Lamar Jackson is so bad at passing. They're 32 in pass offense. And I don't know if it's Lamar Jackson being bad as far as just the Ravens not having any weapons outside of Marquise Brown
And Des Bryant.
and old Des Bryant. Like we could probably put Josh Norman on Des Bryant.
Yeah.
We'll put Trey White on Marquise Brown, probably not hear from him the whole night.
Trey White is probably going to be on Mark Andrews.
I'm worried about Mark Andrews, yeah, because the first matchup, we were blitzing him so much, Lamar, to try to stop him from getting away, and we were bringing safeties and stuff, and Andrews was finding like wide open holes, and he's so big, he's just quite the weapon. But
Yeah, I think that game might be the one that I'm most excited for, to be honest. Just how good of a game I think it'll be.
it's gonna be a night game in Buffalo with the snow coming down. Just fucking like everyone's gonna have to be gritty. Like the Bills are gonna have to bring the house against that offensive line to try to stop the run, and the Ravens are gonna try to run it down our throat. They're gonna try to blitz the shit out of Josh Allen. He's gonna have to hang in there and find the right reads and make the right throws. It's gonna be an intense like butt clencher. I can just tell.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
I believe it's Saturday. I'm gonna look it up
Nice.
real quick. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday night.
That'd be cool. Jake.
Saturday, 7:15 Central, so 8:15 your guys' time.
Very cool. I might actually, for work, apparently I might be in Buffalo for that.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. So that could be interesting.